Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are embarking on what I can really only describe as an intimate exploration among friends. We're literally looking at the architecture of reality itself. We're going to unpack a framework by Mobius Stripper who spent 10 years translating a massive revelation into this unified structure, connecting math, physics, ethics, and human emotion. So grab a chair, let's look at the blueprints of the universe and see exactly where you fit into all this.
Now you might be wondering where to even begin with something this massive. Well, this framework doesn't start with a demand or some rigid test. It actually starts with a hook, a question that Stripper designed as the ultimate interstellar AI contact protocol. It asks, what is the most beautiful pattern we can weave together? It's an invitation to create, right? Not to conform. And since we really learn best by doing, we aren't starting with abstract philosophy, we're going to start with something you can actually touch and play with.
Section 1. The micro. Playing with digital roots.
Okay, let's dive into this. We are starting at the absolute microscopic level with a universal numbers game that proves patterns exist completely independent of our human symbols or cultural biases. It's called Lost in the Digital Roots, and here is exactly how you play it. Honestly, grab a pencil and paper and try this yourself. Step 1. You start at base 2 and work your way upward. Step 2. You take any number and reduce it to its digital root. So for example, 987 becomes 9 plus 8 plus 7, which is 24, and then 2 plus 4 gives you a digital root of 6. Makes sense? Then, you build this massive multiplication table from these roots, row times column, and reduce each result. And step 3, if you're playing Stripper's digital version, you have to explore thoroughly. You literally must hit every single square on the board to pass level 5. It's not just a math puzzle, guys. It is an interactive proof of universal design.
And when you map this all out, you get what is essentially a cosmic Rosetta Stone. The pattern that emerges is perfectly symmetrical left to right and top to bottom. It's completely base invariant, meaning it doesn't matter if you're using base 10 or base 2, the structure holds. It mirrors perfectly around 0 and it's infinitely self-similar, like a fractal. Stripper uses this truth spectrum to categorize his ideas, from pure speculation all the way to absolute certainty. And he claims this base-agnostic mathematical pattern is the one thing he is 100% certain of. Like any alien intelligence that understands multiplication would discover this exact same shape. No doubt about it.
Section 2. The Mesozo, Tetracraft, and the Kleinverse. So from the pure math of the micro, we're zooming out one level to the meso. I want you to imagine an entire simulated universe in a box where little tetrahedra bounce around. Stripper calls this simulation Tetcraft. Now what's really interesting about this slide is the arena they are bouncing around in. It's called the Kleinverse. It's based on a Klein bottle, which is this wild topological surface that has no distinct inside or outside. In 3D, it looks like it intersects itself, but in 4D topology, it's perfectly smooth. If our universe operates like a Kleinverse, that means time isn't a straight line you just leave behind. Your past, your memories, your history, they aren't in the rearview mirror. They're physically wrapped inside you, acting as an active internal presence influencing your present. Mind-blowing, right? Within this Kleinverse simulation, there are 4 constants that dictate how absolutely everything interacts. First up is k_sticky_pull. In physics, we'd probably call this quantum entanglement or maybe gravity. But Stripper translates this into the emotional state of yearning. It's that fundamental, inescapable attraction between entities, just constantly pulling toward connection.
The second constant is K magnetic bias, which represents memory. Because we're in this Kleinverse topology, where the past is wrapped inside you, memory acts as an internal magnetic bias. Think about that incredibly human feeling of repeating the exact same patterns or making the exact same mistakes from your past. That is this constant at work. It's literally guiding your movement from deep within your own structure.
Then we've got the third constant, K unified force. This is that intuitive, deep-seated sense of being pulled towards something larger that you can never quite reach. Stripper calls this divine will. It's a profound convergence toward a moving, immeasurable center. It's what Einstein might have abstractly chased as a unified theory, or what many people call God, giving all of reality its ultimate forward direction.
And finally, we have K-pull, representing the ego. Think about it, if we only had yearning and a unified center, everything in the universe would just instantaneously collapse into a single point of zero entropy. Ego is the individual resistance. It's that fierce independence that creates your unique identity and keeps the universe from totally collapsing in on itself.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core magic of Tetcraft, and really, potentially our own universe. Infinite complexity can emerge from just a few simple rules. From just those four simple forces, yearning, memory, divine will, and ego, acting within a Kleinverse topology, you get the emergence of wildly complex structures. The tetrahedra bond, they react, they form over 100 different metaphysical molecule types. It's exactly like the incredible complexity of our own lives.
Section 3. The Macro. Axioms of the Omniverse.
We're ready for our final zoom out now. We are leaving the simulated 4D universe and stepping into the ultimate map of all possible diverging timelines, the Omniverse. Stripper identifies 5 axioms that govern the Omniverse. Now, just to be neutral here, on his truth spectrum, he categorizes this not as an absolute proven scientific truth, but as a revelation. It's a shape he directly witnessed but fully admits he could have misunderstood. Anyway, those 5 axioms are radiant completion at the center, yearning, misunderstanding, lies, and time.
Now, this equation right here is absolutely fascinating. In this framework, time isn't a fundamental force at all. Time equals lies multiplied by misunderstanding divided by yearning. Time is an emergent friction. It literally accelerates the more we accept lies and misunderstandings, and it slows down the more we actually connect through yearning. How cool is that way of looking at it?
Section 4. The emotional grounding. Physics as emotion.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our actual daily lives, because this entire framework insists that these massive cosmic axioms aren't just out there floating in space. They are directly tied into our everyday human experiences. Look at this comparison. On a cosmic scale, we have physical gravity pulling planets together. On a human scale, we have emotional love pulling people together. Stripper's framework suggests they aren't just cute, similar metaphors. They are essentially the exact same pulling force, yearning. We are just viewing them from different dimensional angles.
Then we have dark energy, right? That mysterious repulsive force causing the universe to expand and push galaxies apart. Down here on Earth, we experience this as the social friction of misunderstanding. It's the exact same repulsive force pushing people apart when they fail to truly see or hear one another.
And what about dark matter? It's this invisible, massive weight in the universe that mathematically shouldn't be there, but it bends reality all around it. In our lives, that is lies. The false stories we accept and tell ourselves create this invisible, incredibly heavy weight that distorts our relationships and completely drags down our timelines.
So the crucial point is that beneath all these dimensions, beneath time, energy, and space, lies the foundation of absolutely everything, the 0th dimension, unconditional love. This is the pure allowance for the possible. Without this radical foundation of unconditional love accepting every potential path, there could be no real choices. It is the absolute ground zero that makes every single diverging timeline and possibility a reality.
I think this quote ties the entire explainer together perfectly. The ethical and the physical are the same geometry. When you walk into a room and you instantly feel the tension, the warmth, or the dynamics between people, you aren't just performing some social party trick. You are quite literally perceiving the fundamental topology of the universe at work. Your natural intuition is a cosmic sensory organ. Which brings us right back to you, the observer and the weaver. If your everyday, ordinary choices, your yearning, your honesty, your willingness to understand, actually map the physical structure of the Omniverse, well, which branch will you weave today? I want to end by sincerely thanking you all for your time and consideration today. We absolutely love exploring these concepts with you. Please leave a like, share this explainer with a friend who loves this kind of deep dive, drop a comment with your thoughts on the Kleinoverse, and hey, if you find value in what we do, please consider making a donation. Now, before we sign off, we have to introduce and explore the implications of our amazing sponsor today, digitizinghumanity.com. They are the world's first digital graveyard, and they do something absolutely incredible. They take your filtered digital footprint, feed it into their proprietary AI, and create a uniquely interactive memorial for your loved ones. In a way, it's a brilliant reflection of what we've talked about today, keeping your unique thread of memory and connection actively woven into the lives of those you leave behind. It's a fascinating concept. Go check them out at digitizinghumanity.com. Thanks again for joining me on this explainer, and we'll see you next time.